Welcome to Here to Be Human, a multidimensional soul. This is not just a podcast, it's a remembering. A space where soul meets skin and the sacred meets the messy. Where spirit is not something you escape into, it's something you embody here in this beautiful, chaotic, breathtaking human life. Each episode is a living transmission, a weaving of energy, truth, reflection, and remembrance, with questions for your soul, messages from beyond, and invitations to meet yourself in ways you've never dared to before. Whether you're walking through shadow or starlight, you belong here. I am Julie, your guide, your mirror, your voice in the void. This is Here to Be Human, and you are right on time. Grief is a doorway. It opens us to what was and to what still is, even if we can no longer touch it. This is Here to Be Human, a multidimensional soul, and you're listening to episode 6, Grief, Loss, and the Love That Remains. So I'm going to invite you to reflect upon these questions. Feel free to close your eyes, take a deep breath in and out, and just feel the presence of what remains. Who or what have you loved and lost? What love still lives in you, even now? Who or what have you loved and lost? And what love still lives in you, even now? And as we segue into our first segment, grief is sacred work. We're often told to move on, to stay strong, to focus on the positive. But grief doesn't need fixing. It needs witnessing. Grief is sacred. It cracks us open, not just to sorrow, but to presence, to memory, to the love that never truly leaves. To grieve deeply is to have loved deeply, and that is holy. So let me open up space now to speak directly to spirit and to those who are grieving. Again, you can pause here and see what comes through for you when you channel these questions. Or come back at a later date and see if these insights align with you now or in the future. Our first question is, what would you say to the soul holding sorrow in their heart? Spirit, what would you say to the soul holding sorrow in their heart? It is a felt experience that needs to be acknowledged. It is a frequency, a highest vibration of true love that you are witnessing within you. This is not a time to escape. This is not a time to put a band-aid. This is a time to seek comfort in those who will hold space for you, who will understand and empathize with the situation you are undergoing. This is not a time to be shamed for how deeply you are feeling for the loss of someone. And the sorrow in your heart isn't only felt for those that we have lost who have crossed over to the other side. We feel the sorrow in the heart for the potential of love that was taken away, for the potential of a dream or a vision that was cut short. Grief is felt for all the things that we have loved, the things that we have invested our own time, heart, and energy into, that unfortunately is no longer here for us to experience in its original form. And nothing can make you feel better or at ease or less sorrow. Allowing the grief to rise, witnessing the sadness, acknowledging that what you feel is true for you. Over time, your soul will help you to navigate this sorrow so that it in itself is not derailing or pausing your life, but that it is allowing you to see how to live your life fully. Our next question to Spirit. Sorry, Catherine. Let me just hit pause. Our next question to Spirit is, Spirit, what makes grief sacred in the eyes of the soul? What makes grief sacred in the eyes of the soul? By being able to feel deeply, and grief is an emotion that is hard to explain. For not everyone will ever feel the depths of your grief, but many can understand the depths of love, the depths of joy, the depths of excitement, all those emotions that have on the human experience. Or they can try to understand it as best as they can, for they may have felt it too. But grief, that sacredness, that you are at one with the universe, that your soul is allowing you to go to the depths of emotion, that it is private, that your experience will never be the same as anybody else going through their grief. And at various times in our lives, we will lose someone, whether that's through the passing of their soul, the ending of a dream, or the ending of a relationship. But what makes this grief sacred to you specifically is knowing that you are not alone, even though your felt experience is unique to you. Just as your fingerprint is unique to you, so is how you process this grief. And that process, the learnings that come from it, the understanding that you feel deeply, or you have the capacity to feel deeply. In the eyes of the soul, that is what is sacred. It brings about resilience that shows you that you are strong and that you can carry on. It shows you that in the midst of the grief, this is not a weakness. This is a superpower that human beings hold. For it allows them to connect with others on a level that maybe they've never connected with someone before. It allows their connections moving forward to become deeper. When we lose something, we take stock of our life. We have a better understanding of what we actually want moving forward. It expands the capacity of your heart, the capacity for you to love. And it allows you to see that you are one with the universe. And more importantly, if it is a loved one that has crossed over, eventually it allows you to connect back with that soul in other ways of felt experience. Grief is profound. It is not anything to be ashamed of or to run away from. And that's what makes it sacred in the eyes of the soul. And my condolences to anyone who may be listening to this segment or this episode who may have lost a loved one or maybe going through a loss of other forms. And I'm hoping that this brings you some peace. And as we now move over to segment 2, death as dimensional shift, not finality. From the multidimensional perspective, death is not an end, but a transition. A re-entry into soul form. The body is released, but consciousness continues. Our loved ones often walk beside us. Their frequency lighter, but not less present. You may feel them in dreams, in nature, in quiet moments, in sudden waves of emotion, in words that arrive without warning. These are not hallucinations, they are reminders. I am not gone. I have just changed form. So let me ask something of spirit here for those sensing that presence. So, how can we better recognize the presence of those we've lost? Being still for a moment, trusting in whatever it is that you're feeling, whatever you're sensing, wherever your attention is drawn to. Trying not to look for it, but to surrender that when the moment arrives, that when your loved one, their frequency is ready to meet yours, that you may feel a tingling sensation in your body or a part of an aspect of your body, like as if someone has gently kissed you on your cheek, played with your hair. You may see something flash out of the corner of your eye, yet when you look, there is nothing there. You may see repeating numbers or hear songs that remind you of them. But it's through your conversations that you have with them and that gentle voice speaking back to you through your mind and being in that stillness. Being grateful for where you are at. You begin to see the subtleties of life. That life is worth living. For your loved ones will try and get your attention to feel the wind on your face, and it'll feel different. Your felt experience will be different. You'll be recognizing things that maybe you couldn't see before because you were caught up in daily tasks. Your loved ones ultimately want you to feel their presence, but it's not just about that. They ultimately want to allow you to be present in this world. And sometimes they will navigate situations, serendipitous moments that you know that they had a hand in making that happen for you. They are always with us. And if you are going through life and not stopping to smell the roses, they will make sure that along your path, you will stop and smell the roses randomly. These are how you can recognize the moments where your loved one is trying to get you to slow down, to feel that joy, to have balance in your life. But most importantly, know that they are always with us. And in moments of anniversaries, birthdays, or even a memory that pops into your mind, they are with you in that moment. Or they walk side by side with you. Our next question to Spirit is, What are some of the ways our loved ones continue to guide and communicate with us? One of the most profound ways is they will lead you to certain people, they will lead you to experiences. That's definitely one of the ways that they want to help you stay on your path, because they know that life can be messy and difficult at times. And so, if they can energetically have someone bump into you, and this could be the love of your life, or have a stranger come up to you and give you some random advice. These are some of the ways that we have overlooked as to how our loved ones communicate with us. They can guide other people to us to help us see something that we're not seeing. We tend to look for the normal signs that everyone talks to us or tells us about seeing coins on the floor, butterflies, feathers, angel numbers repeating themselves. These are some of the ways that, yes, they communicate with us. Or music, like a particular song coming on the radio, lights flickering in your home. But one of the most profound ways that they do communicate with us is this something, again, that isn't necessarily spoken a lot about. But have you ever had that experience where, say, for example, you've lost your grandma, and she loved going to the opera. And even though that's not your thing, she always used to talk about a particular play or something that she used to go watch, or one of her favorite TV shows, or, things of that nature. And a friend of yours randomly that you have never mentioned this about your grandma before, or you know that they are not necessarily into all this type of stuff either, they call you up and say, I just got 2 tickets from work to go to this show. And it's an opera show called Les Miserables, so to speak. And you know that's your grandmother's way of saying, I'm gifting you this experience because I want you to feel my energy and how close I am to you on a regular basis. It's those coincidental, serendipitous moments that I feel like are most profound. And these are things that our loved ones do on a regular basis outside of the norm where we have been told about feathers and angel numbers and whatnot. So the next time a friend of yours or a loved one says, hey, randomly, I just kind of want to go here, or do you want to come and check out this place with me? Or I heard about this restaurant, but I don't want to go by myself. You'll probably find that there is going to be a connection to your loved one, and they are the ones that are navigating this for you. So as we move into our next reflective prompt, I want you to take a moment here. Breathe in and out if you need to. Close your eyes. Have you felt someone you've lost, even after they passed? I'm just going to invite you to trust what you sensed, even if it defies logic. So everything that we've spoken about thus far, have you felt someone you've lost, even after they've passed? And what did you sense, even if it defies logic? You may even be reminded of something now that we've spoken about some of the different ways that our loved ones communicate with us. So, as we're now moving into segment 3, love doesn't end when the body dies. Love is not bound by skin or time or space. It threads through lifetimes, it echoes across dimensions. And when someone dies, what you lose is form. What remains is love, and love is eternal. Grief, then, is a bridge, a painful one, yes, but a bridge nonetheless. It connects your humanity with your soul. It keeps the heart open when it wants to close. It teaches you that even absence holds presence. So let's open now to what else needs to be spoken in this space of love and ache. So the question that we're going to ask Spirit: what happens to the soul after death? And how can we stay connected from here? When the soul crosses over, when it leaves the physical form, it moves into a space, what we would classify as wholeness. For we have parallel lives running. And parts of that soul has been living in the different parallel lives. And so when the body ceases to exist here in the physical world, it ceases to exist in all the other parallel worlds in order for the soul to come back as a whole in the ether, in the universe. And when it comes back as a whole, all the parts of the soul are now intertwined and forming one light. It will take all of its experiences, all of its lessons, and begin to integrate that. And because it does so, we are able to stay connected because it becomes our soul knowing. So as I've mentioned before in other past lives, we take all of the data, we take all of that information. The soul knows everything and knows past, present, and future, and knows what's happening in parallel universes because it is connected to it all. And so because of that connection that you have, the connection that your soul has with the soul that was here in the physical form, you are now sharing a frequency that you can stay connected across universal time. So not human time, but universal time. So your soul and the soul of your loved one know each other well. They've known each other in past lives. They've known each other in this lifetime. And they continue to know each other, even though one has left the physical form. So the more that you connect back to your soul's knowing, the more spiritual practices or just practices that allow you to connect back to the self, your soul will automatically know how to communicate to your loved one on the other side. You open yourself up to not only the subtle messages and signs from them, but you begin to open up your own mediumship skills where you can converse with them and you hear their voice. You can see them sitting in front of you. That part of the soul that knows this lifetime that you are currently in will show up for you. time and time again, the more that you allow yourself to go deeper into your own spiritual knowing and your own spiritual practices that allow you to surrender to the universe, and that you allow your soul to guide you home. And home is available to you at any given moment. And you can feel that home by still being in this physical form, because it is a frequency. It is not a physical place. It is a signal between your soul, the universe, and other souls that are known to you. And I just want you to drop into your heart space just for a moment. And remember, you are allowed to grieve and still be spiritual. You are allowed to cry and still be wise. You are allowed to ache and still trust that love continues. So as we move into our ritual titled I Still Carry You, which is honoring the presence within absence. So again, find a quiet place. Close your eyes if you need to. Place one hand on your heart and the other on your belly. And either say out loud or to yourself, I honor who I've lost and what I still carry. I let grief move through me as love in motion. I do not need to forget in order to heal. You are not gone. You are just closer than breath, wider than sky, quieter than thought. And I will carry you always. Let the breath return. Let the silence speak. And ask yourself, what would you say to the one you lost if they were sitting across from you right now? To grieve is to love still. To feel is to remain open. And to remain open is to stay alive to this world and the next. Our next episode is about fear, courage, and the threshold of the unknown. Until then, cry if you need, speak their name, and know they're closer than you think. Thank you for being here fully. If today's episode stirred something in you, if you have a follow-up question, a reflection you'd like to share, or a way this conversation aligned with where you are right now, I'd love to hear from you. And if there are specific questions you'd like me to ask Spirit in future episodes based on what's coming up for you, send me a direct message at here.to.be.human.podcast on the Instagram page. Remember, your voice, your questions, your presence, they're part of this journey too. And if you'd like to connect with me more deeply, you'll find everything, sessions, programs, and updates over at www.moderndaymedium.com.au or on my Instagram page, which is at modern.day.medium. This is your invitation. This is the return. And this is what it means to be human. So until next time, stay with yourself, stay with your soul, and keep choosing this sacred, messy, and miraculous life.